Hi.
Hey, hold
It's
on.
working.
Hold on. I think it's working.
I know, slow down.
Don't say anything, anybody. You'll jinx it.
We're getting settled in here.
Here we are. Hope you like that theme music.
We're gonna have a
We might change it. We might have to change it
I-
because there was like some copyright. Even though we paid for the rights to it, there
Yeah.
were some copyright concerns when we went to go publish it. So maybe that's the last time you heard that music. We
I think
don't
the
know.
next time you hear music in front of us, it's going to be us singing. It's Art and Susan on their podcast. We're going to be doing a podcast in a few minutes. It's called Stop Me If I've Heard This, and here we are.
Beautiful. That's a wrap.
I think we got it down.
Take it.
No copyright on that crap.
Coffee,
Coffee?
lights,
Yep.
camera.
And my little house is now a studio. I could probably write it off.
It is. You could.
I think I could.
Studio B.
Or the dump. We'll just call it the dump.
Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. It's podcast number something,
We're in the 160s, 170s, something like that.
something like that.
And
We're just plugging away. We're going to keep doing this till we reach our demographic,
or can't speak any longer.
or they're all just gone. So we're hoping to.
Yeah, we're looking for that. We're shooting for that 0000 every day.
Every day.
That everyday download zero
Well,
zero.
sooner or later, 65 and 70-year-olds are going to figure out how to watch podcasts, and we're going to be right there waiting for them when they do.
We're sitting on our egg on YouTube is what we're doing, waiting for it to hatch.
For
So
magic to happen.
Anyway.
We're going to change our motto to we're here to check your vitals. That's going to be our new slogan.
this is going to be the Wellness Check podcast. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's what Susan and I have become. We were besties. We've been best friends for a long time,
Right.
and podcast partners. And now we're just hey, are you okay? You up and around?
We check each other every morning, and you have a wife, but
I know.
there's days
Yeah,
that
but
she
she
doesn't
sleeps
even
in.
notice you.
That's true. She goes straight to the office to write, and
That's
it's
it.
like, oh, you're here?
It was so good to see her. We
Yeah.
had the best weekend, you guys.
Yeah, we got to talk about that show.
We had the
What a
best
fun time.
weekend, and I want to tell you something. I have known this man since he stepped on stage the very first time. I have watched him from day one, and this Saturday night, what a fucking powerhouse. You had one of the best sets I have ever seen.
Wow, that's something.
Unbelievable. They
Felt
loved you.
good. It felt like the best that I've had since the pandemic, for sure.
Well, I'll tell
It
you.
just felt like everything was clicking, and they were responding, and I felt like I had my segues
Oh,
back.
you were
and,
back. You were back,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah.
It was just so nice to see.
And now I've got some time off. Isn't
Well,
that the way it goes?
Well, no, you don't.
That's true.
You're working
Let's
Thanksgiving
continue
weekend.
to plug this show the day after Thanksgiving. Turns out it's going to be the Friday after the Thursday of Thanksgiving.
Right.
A week from this
It's
Friday.
the 26th of November.
Yes, we will be
At 8 o'clock, we will be at the...
Prairie Bar and Grill. Prairie Bar and Grill.
My bra is coming with us.
Prairie Bra and Gill. And
In Brush
it's in
Prairie.
Brush Prairie, Washington, and it's going to be a blast. It's going to be us two, and that's it. Just the two of us.
It's the two of us. We're just
Okay.
and also we will put all the information on buying tickets to it on our Facebook page. We got to get a website because we're getting off of Facebook eventually.
Yeah.
It's going to be on our Facebook page where to buy tickets. You're supporting a really wonderful group of people
Exactly.
that do wonderful things in the community, and it's going to be Art and I.
And it's their kind of a goodbye show. They've sold.
They've sold that building. They have
Prairie Bar
another.
and
They
Grill.
have another building. They have another venue, but it's not conducive to stand up. Or I don't know. Maybe it is. But I know that they've been out there. It was a family business, and they sold that building.
Yeah.
But they have another one.
Yeah. Well, I'm good.
Anyway.
I'm glad they're still making money, but
Yeah.
this will be a farewell show to this venue, and hopefully we'll do them proud. If you guys show up, we will make an extra effort and come up and say hello. If you do, if you heard this and then that prompted you to go watch a show and see us, what we do, actual stand-up comedy versus just blah 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 blah,
Yeah.
which is our podcast.
Yeah.
That would be great. You should
While
come
we're
out.
plugging shows too, I don't know if any of you listened to our Lonnie Bruin interview, and some of you are fans. and he's so funny. And I promised that I would plug this for him. He is doing a Thanksgiving show
On Thanksgiving Day.
November the 24th, Wednesday the 24th, 8 to 10.
The day before.
$5 ticket sales, and they're sold in advance. And it's out of the Cedarville Inn on West Powell Loop in Gresham, Oregon. And we'll also put that on our Facebook page. So, and we'll promote that because we love Lonnie, and he's coming back from COVID, and this is going to be his return show. So it's going to be a good one.
And there's no comic quite like Lonnie. I mean,
Right.
he goes off script, and he's definitely R-rated. So be ready for that. But he speaks his mind. He says whatever.
Yeah.
He's not just trying to shock you with his.
No, he's
that's-
very unique. He's a very unique, funny comic.
Lonnie, yeah.
Anyway, what a weekend! I just finally got
What
some
a fun
sleep last
show!
night.
Yeah, just to hang out. It was, and for the little context here, it was Susan's birthday.
Bless your heart, you didn't use the number. I was 70. I turned 70
Okay.
on.
That's
I turned
up
70
to you.
on Saturday,
Uh-huh.
and it's coming for you. So,
Coming around the corner.
but when you
sure.
have your 70th, we're gonna blow it up too. So,
Uh-huh.
but you got gypped out of your 60th. That's when Dave passed.
Oh, I don't remember
Yeah.
that.
We had a
so
party
much.
here.
Oh, I think I kind of liked the fact that it was just sort
Low
of like,
key.
no, nothing to see here.
It was just friends.
Move on.
It was
Yes,
just friends,
it
yeah.
happened.
Yeah. Anyway, but we had. I was overwhelmed, so I don't even want to talk about it because I'll
Yeah,
start crying again.
let's just say Simon Kaufman, the person who put it together,
The producer for the show that we did in Chehalis. Yeah.
he really, really went out of his way, went the extra mile, bought her flowers, ordered a cake for her.
And hired 2 headliners in front of me. Thank you.
Yes. I have the pressure.
Yeah,
You
no
turn the
pressure
seven,
here.
Let's see if you still got it.
Yeah, and
She
I was
did.
like, oh my God.
Hello,
Oh my God, I was
Susan.
nervous. Well, after your set, I looked at Catherine and I went, his wife came with us. Catherine was there, and I looked at her and I went, oh shit, I don't know if I can follow that. That was just too big. That was too big. I
And
don't
then
know.
at the end of the night, they don't remember who I am, and they, because they
That
just
is
fall
not
in love
true.
with you on stage. They always do.
Well, I don't know, but I got flowers, and
Yeah.
they ordered a wonderful cake that said "Happy Birthday," something you old bag. Oh,
Yeah, because
yeah, I can't believe you're 70, you old bag, or something. It was very funny, referring to my funny old bags that I usually sell. Anyway, it was very
Yeah,
cute.
right.
Amanda Arnold was just wonderful. So.
Yeah.
And her episode's still up, and it's wonderful. So if you get a chance
Right,
to listen
yeah.
to Amanda, we had a great conversation with Amanda.
yeah,
That was back in September. So anyway, and
yeah, and you know what I did to celebrate your birthday? I
don't know.
I ate like I haven't eaten in the last 4
Oh,
months.
yeah.
You know, I've been on this diet. In the last month, it's been the
You look
cleanse.
really good. You look good
So
too.
thank you. So that's it was my chance to finally go. I'm gonna have whatever I want to. It's her birthday. I get to eat what I want.
Well, the food at this place
It's
is
so
excellent.
good. You don't want to just have a salad.
It's excellent, and
So I had a burger and French fries and chocolate goddamn cake.
that cake was
Oh,
so
my God.
good. It was great. You know, it's so funny because as you get older, you know, when you're a little kid, you had the whole thing. You got excited
Yeah,
about
oh,
the
yeah.
cake. You got excited about the presents. You got excited about having the party. As you get older, the presents fall away. You don't care if you get presents. You're kind of looking forward to your friends. And as
Right.
you get even older, you just kind of go, all I want is the goddamn cake. That's all I really want. I just
skip
want the
ahead.
cake.
Can we skip ahead
Can
to
we
the
skip to the
slicing?
cake? Just get to the cake.
And can I tell you, I paid for it. Oh my God!
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my stomach. I take. I don't take Tums. I take papaya enzyme or papaya extract.
Of course, because why would you take Tums? Jesus God, the
Because
whole
then
world
it
takes
trains
Tums.
your stomach to produce less.
Oh, okay.
To more acid is what it does. So it just it's an ongoing cycle. So I take, and they usually kind of work, but there weren't enough papaya enzymes out there to take their burger, fries, and chocolate cake.
Oh, yeah, that is a lot
I
after
woke up about
fasting.
3:30 or 4 o'clock, just had fever dreams, full on just bizarre fever dreams that are just like, oh, you're just being tortured. It's like, oh, never again. I'm sorry. It's like just like
sorry.
Ebenezer Scrooge. Oh, I'll never eat another burger
But
again.
trust me, when he was eating that burger, it was like watching him have an orgasm, which
Yeah.
is disgusting. So it was like,
Yeah, it was,
okay, go sit over there because you're just
wasn't good.
moaning like crazy eating this burger. Anyway,
Yeah,
it was,
it was good.
and I don't know if we're just gonna talk about this and then we'll stop talking about my birthday. But
Right.
what it was I was so overwhelmed by the kindness of everybody. And one of our dear friends who's been on the podcast a couple different times, Susan Jones. Hi, Suze. I know you listen, so I just wanted to say again,
Yeah.
she lives in Vegas. And stop. We're gonna have to. What are we gonna do?
We're going to have to pause things right
We're gonna
there.
pause right now. We'll be right back.
Because our phone's got a low battery for some reason.
So,
And
sorry.
we're back.
Sorry.
You know,
I know.
I just thought we could get through one whole episode without a glitch.
Well, this
I
is
really
only
did.
it's only our second one.
And in all fairness, I charged my phone up overnight so it will be ready for today. And I've never had a problem with that.
I know.
Today, suddenly out of the blue, yeah, I didn't feel like charging.
At least you have a
I know
counter.
it's plugged in.
You have a counter on your see the counter on the video is good, so at least we can help with that.
Right.
So yeah.
We'll get better at this.
So we're back to the wonderful story of my buddy Susan Jones, who the little stinker lives in Vegas, wanted to do something for my birthday,
Right.
and
'Cause, yeah, she would,
she
yeah.
started going through my friends list on Facebook. And we have so many of the same friends, but there's others that were on there that. Anyway, she
Yeah.
asked everybody to send a video,
Right.
and this is the funny
And
part
most
about it.
people did, yeah.
Yeah, this is the funny part because when she was explaining it to me later on, so she compiled this. She and her husband Larry Carson, bless you, Larry, who's just an amazing
Quite
technician.
a job he did, yeah.
Yeah, he's wonderful, and they put this video together on YouTube, and asked everybody to upload a birthday wish for me, all my friends, comedy friends, all comedy friends actually, and so I got a text from her on my birthday morning. I got up and there's a text from Susan that says, "Did you?" She goes, "Don't be mad. Did you enjoy the gift I posted?" And I'm half awake.
Don't be mad, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. So I don't know what she's talking about. So, but anyway, so I get up and I go, okay. So I start my morning because I'm an old person. I have to start my morning the way I have to start my morning. So, and phone calls were coming in and I was distracted and I thought, oh, Susan said she did something. And I finally got on Facebook about an hour and a half later. And I looked on my Facebook page and I didn't see anything. And I thought, okay, well, I have to go find something. And then another phone call came in. And then our buddy Dawn called.
Don Green.
Dawn Green, who's going to be on the podcast next Monday. Forgot to tell you. And
Okay. No, this is great.
and anyway, she said, "Did you like the gift that Susan sent you?" And I said, "What? Oh yeah. Well, I saw it. I finally saw it on her page, and it was lovely. And she tagged all these comics underneath it. And that was nice of her to remind them that it was my birthday." And she goes, "No, dummy.
Mm-hmm.
Did you click on it?" And I go, "Click on it? What do you mean click on it?"
What
She
do you
goes,
mean? What does that mean?
Click on it.
Click on something.
She goes, "Susan, go back to the post. Click. Put your finger on your face."
There's a little arrow.
And then I was off to the races.
It's like a 7 or 8 minute video.
No, it's like, it took me a half an hour
Well,
with
for a 7 or
everybody.
8 minute video.
No, it was
Because
longer.
you had to stop.
Well, it seemed like
You
it was
got your
longer
clip.
than that.
Yeah.
It was a long video, but it was comic after comic after comic after comic
Yeah.
after comic after comic. People I've known for 30 years.
Yeah.
Jackie Cation and Maria Bamford sent a note.
That's
and,
right.
And
Yeah.
our buddy Brad and Dwight Slade, our sweet Dwight. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's a wonderful video, and if you want to see it, you can see it on my page. I wanted to honor Susan, and it felt weird me posting it, but I
Yeah.
thought some of it's so funny. Augie Smith, Jeff Young, and Dwight Slade, and Vince just knocked it out.
Right.
And Nick,
Yeah.
Nick Tyson just blew
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah.
So it's so funny. Anyway, I enjoyed it, and I cried all day. I cried all day. So I'm kind of glad 70's over because the next one's got to be quieter. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it again. But everybody's so very kind, and thank you.
Because again, I knew how you are emotionally working hard on
my
your sleep.
God.
And as we're walking to the stage, we all four got on stage at the end of it, and they start bringing the cake up, and I leaned into Simon and I go, "Here comes the waterworks."
I know. I was just a puddle. I was a puddle. It's like, okay, all right.
Yes. You got a big heart, and that's why the audiences love you so much.
I know.
They feel that, and
Well,
it's a connection.
most victims do. Anyway, so it was a big weekend.
Stockholm syndrome.
And now I'm over it, and I'm moving on. But I'm excited about our show, and I got back to normal this morning. I started screaming at the screen.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I was screaming at the. I was watching the Kyle Rittenhouse.
We'll get into that in a second.
Okay, all right.
I just wanted to tell you, I finally got into the doctor. I know you're all worried. But I made it to the doctor this last week because my shoulders for a month now, and I thought, the worst.
Does he have you on good drugs?
Well, she put me on hydrocodone, which I'm only going to do once at night because I've been watching some of those shows about
Doctor, what is it?
how addictive they are.
There's that one on
There's
Hulu.
one with Michael Keaton, and then there's another one, But I mean, it's addictive, and I think part of it. I remember Catherine when she was going through her knee surgery. It's constipate you for one thing too. So once a day is enough. And she also what was happening. She was finding that it was not working as well the more she used it. So she'd have to take two, or she'd have to take them more frequently. And that's how it works. That's how they get you. So I've been. In fact, the last 2 nights I said, no, I'm just going to do ibuprofen. I don't want to continue this cycle.
Right.
But just again, I wasn't in there for hydrocodone.
They've got to find something else.
I was in there trying to figure out what's going on with my shoulder, and so they took x-rays, and it's funny too, because you go in there our age, and my doctor goes, is there anything like, how's your state of mind? And I go, well, it'd be a lot better if I didn't come in to get my shoulder looked out, and they asked me if I'd filled out an advance directive. Like, how bad do you think this is going to go today? It's just my shoulder. I hope I walk out of here.
They asked me that, and I said, why should I make your job easier? Why did you guess?
What did you get?
What did you guess what the hell I want?
That's what we should have, is just a wheel.
Life support.
Pull the plug.
Pull the plug.
Tell the relatives. Don't tell the relatives.
Feeding tube. Only is a
feeding tube. I can't see a feeding tube.
Oh, well, depending on what they're going to feed me. Chocolate, coffee, yes.
If it's just straight up treats, yeah.
If it's all treats.
Well, donuts fit through that tube.
A nice burrito. Anyway, yeah, it's that's so dark. That's very dark.
Well, they pulled that on me, and I was like, well, okay.
Yeah, I love the mental health questions now that they ask you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've never had those. I've never had so many mental health questions.
Yeah, how you feeling?
How are you feeling? Have you wanted to hurt yourself? Have you thoughts of hurting yourself?
Right.
No. Have you had thoughts of hurting others? Yes.
Yes.
Every time I watch the news. Every time I watch the news, I want to hurt people.
How often are you depressed? Is this an intervention or is this a doctor visit? Which are we doing today? Because I'm pretty much feeling okay, except for my goddamn shoulder. That's got me pretty depressed.
It's such a weird place to have pain.
Well,
I mean, what do you do with your shoulders?
What happens is, as you get older, especially...
well, you drove for a while, a long time.
This has been going on for a month, so this as you get older and life beats you down, your shoulders kind of tend to go like this, and then it gets them out of the joint, out of socket, instead of standing up straight, like you believe in yourself.
So massage doesn't help that?
It helps it temporarily.
Okay.
But I need to do strengthening exercise. That's what it all comes down to. This is what I learned. I need to do strengthening. As soon as the insurance companies approve that.
Oh, God, this has gotten worse.
I've been waiting a week. So just for the insurance companies to say, yeah, get the PT appointments. It's not easy. The health questions, it becomes more and more complicated the older you get.
Really? Even with your Medicare, it took a week for them to approve that?
They haven't approved it yet. I went in last Thursday.
Oh, well, I think they're overwhelmed, but yes, because I know that regular insurance people with regular insurance and not on Medicare are having a hell of a time getting approvals on stuff.
Yeah.
Susan Jones, who has a great, we were talking about earlier, wonderful Susan Jones, Love you, love you. She went in for an MRI and on her knee because she fell and hurt it really bad and walked on it for about 2 months.
Oh, geez.
And tried to get it back and finally said I have to, and she just moved, so she's changing doctors and everything, which is really hard.
Yeah.
And she went in for the MRI and they said, no, your insurance didn't approve it, and they've got really good insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, well, in Seattle it wouldn't have even been a problem, but in Nevada it's a problem. So she had to pay for her own MRI.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh,
But she had to have it.
Yeah, right, yeah.
You know.
You have to know.
And it's just a pain in the ass. I hope Susan doesn't mind me telling that story.
Right.
But it's, well, I'm glad that they figured it out. That it's
And
not,
they figured out that I don't have like bone-on-bone arthritis or anything like that, where it's degenerative. I was worried because my hands look like warlock fingers now. I was afraid that was happening to my shoulder too.
you could scare people with those hands.
I could, man. It's Halloween. I hand them the holiday candy, and they're like, "Oh, that's okay. Never mind." But yeah, I was relieved to know that. Anyhow, but yeah, I have the Medicare Advantage. I have Medicare.
I have
Part A and B, and the advantage is they deny you quicker.
I have
They
advantage
get
too.
right back to you.
Yeah, so well, I'm glad that got diagnosed though. At least, because at least you can have a plan of
Move
attack.
on.
Yeah. So
'Cause,
it's
I don't
not
know.
easy. Nothing's easy.
You need to sleep. That was the main thing that brought me in there. If you don't sleep, pretty soon you die.
Or you pick up a gun and join a riot. Can we talk
So,
about this
yeah,
yet?
let's talk
Can
about
we talk
Kyle
about this
Rittenhouse.
yet?
Yeah.
I'm on a roll.
Okay, we need to bring it.
This is so good. We're so happy that you can actually see me have a goddamn fit on YouTube because
You can hear it in the voice before, but now you're able to see it in the tremor.
I'm on the warpath. That judge in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial is an asshat.
I've only watched one day of it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I saw.
He is a good old boy.
Yeah,
He's a
right.
Trumpster. And you're looking at a defense team.
Right.
That's $1 million defense team right there. Because Kyle Rittenhouse
Yeah, you got to GoFundMe.
shot this guy 4 times, shot another guy
Yeah.
twice or something like that. I can't remember how many shot the first one. And walked away. The police said he walked past. The police watched him do it.
Right.
When he walked away, they gave him a bottle of water.
I know. They're like, nice shot.
Yeah, and they
that's how they handled it.
And they watched all this going down.
Yeah.
Every single one of those medevac or medical people that Kyle was supposedly part of, they all had guns. Now, granted, some of those rioters had guns too. So, and they were not BLM. I'm sorry, these were not BLM people. These
just regular protesters.
Well, they were pissed, and
Yeah.
Kenosha is a huge hotbed of racism, and the police.
And how far away did he drive from, Kyle Rittenhouse?
He drove across the border to Wisconsin from Illinois.
Right.
His mother drove him.
And you can't tell me that he wasn't trying to be a vigilante. You can't tell me that's not what this is about.
Well, you don't take an AR-15
Right.
to a protest
Yeah.
and not expect payback.
And
I
not
mean,
expect to use it.
pushback, not payback.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, he's 17 years old, and he shouldn't have had an AR-15 first
To
of all,
begin with.
To begin with.
Yeah, that's.
And I think his father bought it for him, who lives in Kenosha. And he and his friend went to help. Now, I have sympathy for a 17-year-old boy. I have empathy because
The brains aren't done yet.
brains aren't done yet.
Yeah.
Bad decisions, and obviously some really bad parenting. So
She drove him there.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's not easy to hide an AR-15
Yeah. Oh, by the way, what are you going to be doing this evening? Oh, just hanging around.
with my friends. Well, no, she
Yeah.
knew he was going to the.
Yeah.
She knew he was going.
She brought him there, right?
And he was. They dropped him off at his dad's, and he and a friend, and they were going to go down and work and help with the protests, and be medical people. Which he'd had CPR and some blood. He had joined a Stop the Flow group that was affiliated with the police department in his hometown, for first aid.
I'm trying to remember the last time I saw a scene where the medical people showed up and they were carrying rifles.
I know. Usually they have the big cross on their backs.
Yeah, no.
I mean, the ones in Portland
They
were
don't
not
look like
carrying guns.
paramilitary, yeah.
And we had, trust me, Portland knows about protests. So
Yeah.
the people that were on the ground and in Seattle, they were not carrying. I don't remember Seattle as much as I remember watching Portland, but they were helping people, and they had medical bags marked with the Red Cross. They had medical, and they had Red Cross in reflective tape on the back of their jackets.
Right.
And they, if they were wearing helmets, they had
actual
that.
medical personnel.
Yeah, and or just well trained, or they couldn't help anything that wasn't just a really bad sprain or but I mean they would call for ambulances and stuff like that if they needed really
Severe,
fast. Yeah. But the whole thing about this trial is now these are Kenosha prosecutors. And maybe and they're good. I don't think they're that bad. They're up against $1 million team, and I can't remember, but I think they're out of Chicago.
Okay.
Or someplace in Wisconsin. Anyway, it's a big firm, and you're talking Brooks Brothers next to Sears.
Okay.
Suits, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that they're not good. They're very good. He's well represented, but Kyle Rittenhouse, a week after his arraignment, had already raised $1.5 million. Right. And that was all from right-wing Ricky Schroeder, Scott Baio, all these, jackasses that, anyway. And so he has all this money.
Right.
And this good old boy, the ringtone on the judge's phone is Trump's fight song. It's what he used at all his rallies.
Right.
It's the same.
Right.
So the judge is up there with the ringtone that everybody can hear. That's the Trump rally fight song.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he keeps referring to Kyle as the young man instead of the defendant.
Interesting.
He every single piece of they're now going over closing arguments, and he put a limit. He goes, he's so inarticulate, it drives me crazy, and he loses his train of thought constantly.
Who, Kyle or
no, the judge.
Oh.
And then he says things like, today they're deciding on the charges and how the charges are going to be read out loud to the jury as in the closing arguments. They have to tell the jury exactly and give it to them exactly how it's going to read.
Okay.
So they're going over the wording of the charges. Here's this morning, this is what made me yell this morning. Okay, well, they're talking about when he shot Rosenblum, and he shot him 4 times in the head. 4 times in the head with a bullet that's about this big. It's long.
Right.
It's an AR-15. It's a very big bullet. 4 times, guy got shot 4 times. So the deal is, the judge says, well...
Because he felt threatened.
So, yeah, when the guy is backing up with his hands in the air. Yeah. Anyway, but the thing about it is, I'm sure he did feel threatened, but the judge says, well, I think this, we're looking at deliberate and reckless. I don't like this word. Is it reckless or is it deliberate? I think deliberate is too harsh considering the young man's testimony.
Oh.
And I'm going, what?
So he's making himself the jury as well.
Oh, yeah, he wants to say reckless. It was reckless.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed
like,
to intentional.
Oopsie daisy.
Instead of intentional.
I accidentally shot a man 4 times in the head.
4 times.
Whoops.
Yep. So anyway.
I slipped.
This is the kind of idiocy that the judge testified on day number 8. The judge testified from the bench.
Wow. I wonder if there's grounds for
telling
a trial
Kyle
because of the way the
what
judge
to
handled
say.
You see.
It's insane. It should have been a mistrial immediately. Now the defense actually has filed a motion for a mistrial.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I could tell you exactly why, but obviously I'm 70, so please don't take this. But I don't remember exactly what the defense. But the defense has a legitimate motion for mistrial, and it's not about the judge. It's about the It's about the video, and the enhancement of the video that was done. And if it goes to mistrial, because that motion still has to be decided.
Right.
They can never charge him again if it goes to mistrial. He's not charged.
Oh, they can't retry it?
Not in this case.
It's so maddening.
It's crazy.
Just that there's such a movement to make it legitimate to kill our liberals. This is what this is all about. These guys want to feel like it's okay to kill protesters because they're protesting something that we don't want them to protest.
Right.
That's
well, the real sadness is here, and this is, of course, now here I'm on the roll, poor Art. It's sad that it's a 17, 18-year-old boy. It's very sad.
Mm-hmm.
And I do feel bad for him, and I feel bad that, his whole life has led to this moment. But here's what's happening. The nation is now getting a real clear view of what our courts are in this country now, especially on the federal level, as well as any judge that was appointed, and he appointed a lot of judges. The piece of shit Trump appointed a lot of judges. This is happening all over the country. There is not going to be a fair, impartial judge for probably another 8 years, sitting until Biden starts picking up the pace.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to increase the Superior Court number of judges on the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
The balance is really bad, and we're getting a real bird's eye view of what's happening, especially in those red states.
Right. Yeah.
You can commit a crime. You can commit a crime against a liberal person,
right,
and get off.
Right, because they're the libtards. Well, they deserve what they get. Yeah.
I love the TikTok. I am on TikTok. I'm funny old bag on TikTok. If you watch TikTok, come watch my little videos. They're not all rants. And but I saw this video the other night, and the Kind bars. Kind bars.
The actual nutritional bars.
Yeah, the nutritional Kind bars. Yeah. Well, they came out with a mask. It's a fabulous mask.
Okay.
With a peace sign on it, and it says, "When in doubt, be kind," with their logo.
Yeah.
And this kid thought this young man thought this was a great mask.
Mm-hmm.
So he bought a couple, and he put it on, and he walked into a grocery store with it on. He's standing in line. He doesn't even have any interaction with this man in front of him. He's just standing in a grocery line, at a distance. And this guy turned around and looks at him. And this guy starts yelling he's wearing this mask, and the guy starts yelling at him, "You goddamn liberal, I wish you'd all die."
Right. Yeah.
The guy said, "I didn't even talk to you, sir. What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And it's just but that's it.
The level of belligerence. And I won't say who the woman was at the show the other night, but I felt a little nervous about being in that crowd of clearly at least half of them anti-vaxxers and anti-vaxxers.
They were.
At least half. And then the woman who came up to us after the show just sloshed.
She's the owner.
Okay, I wasn't going to say that. But yeah, she's like, she
doesn't listen.
And you and you and you, all 5 of you are going to come stay at my house in Palm Springs because I just had the pool cleaned out.
I know. And she said,
okay, let's go to Palm Springs and swim in your pool.
We're going to go to Palm Springs and pool. But she was also talking about, she lost her.
But then she started talking about politics. All these people from Seattle are going to move here. They're going to mess up the politics. They're going to change the laws.
And that county has one of the worst judging. Oh my God, they're terrible down there.
Yeah, they need to probably change the laws.
This is a city.
It was ugly, and there was a belligerence about it because twice at least you told her she tried to give you a big hug, and you were like, "No, I'm not doing that. I'm not hugging. I don't want to. I just want fist bump." But even then, she kept coming in and coming in and coming in.
Right.
She grabbed my hands and pulled her cheek into my cheek. You know, and I'm like, oh, that was lovely. Thank you for that.
Well, I asked her not to shake my hand because my hand was really in pain.
Squeezed them.
She did, and the last time she squeezed it, I said, "Ow, stop."
Yes, stop.
Just stop.
But there's that belligerence, that level of belligerence that's not just okay with making my body my choice, even though they don't realize how ironic it is they're using that phrase. They're like, I'm not, but then they want to push that off on you too. I'm not happy to just risk my own life. I'm going to risk yours too. What do you think of that attitude?
Well, and all her wait staff was very good about their masks. They all had their mask on. They kept their mask on the whole night.
The whole night, yeah.
And they were very diligent about making sure their masks were up above their noses.
The staff was great.
And her daughter was working there, and she was like, "Come on, Mom, keep pulling her back." You know, it was just, and she was lovely. She was our server.
She was great.
Everybody was so nice, but it was, and we're having to learn how to maneuver around that in clubs now that we're back in clubs.
Mm-hmm.
This is a city that Art and I were both talking about this. There's a sign as you're entering Chehalis on I-5 coming from the south to the north, as you're going up the north corridor, that used to be called the John Birch sign, because John Birch, John Birch was a society, was basically 1950s, was formed in the 1950s, and it was a Tea Party light. But they were very adamant about the liberal agenda, and hating Democrats and hating anybody.
So every time you drive by Chehalis now, there's a big billboard.
It's been there since the 50s.
Anti-liberal message on it.
Kill Hillary. That was on there for about a month and a half during that campaign. It's just like, okay, well, we've got this. We got the pulse of this city. This is,
and you handled that very well up on stage too. You brought it up.
Make me feel so welcome.
Yeah, I know. He said, and you were like, I know who you are. I know you know who I am. Let's not hide this.
Let's just all let's find a common ground.
And it worked. You know, you got them still like you. That's the tricky part. I thought Simon kind of lost a little ground. He was doing. They were loving him. You know, he was just kicking butt. And then he started making fun of liberal protesters, and they tensed up. I don't know if they thought, well, wait a minute, are you on? Or they're just too angry about that topic. But then his set kind of dipped down a little bit.
Yeah.
Just, they got quiet on him. And
it was interesting. But we've both worked that room where it's been, well, I had to tell a couple of people to take their hats off. We're inside. I'm not big on this kind of, but that's my upbringing.
Right.
And
it's tricky. And I never really did much politics when I was before the pandemic, before Trump. I've been playing Idaho and Montana the whole time, and I never talked my liberal politics because it's divisive, and then you lose them. And you can't gain them back. And then the traditional thought that like Leno or somebody
talk about anything that gets a
make
laugh.
fun of a Republican, make fun of a Democrat, make fun of the left, make fun of the right. I don't want to do that. That's not who I am.
We're not political. I can't. I can't.
Yeah, right.
I can't go there because if I start going there, the funny goes right out the door. But really, right out the door. But I was laughing because we were talking about the. I have one line that I really like that is kind of new from the pandemic when we did the fundraiser for the Democratic Party on October 3rd, a month before the election in 20. And I love telling that story about seeking approval from SUVs, because we're standing in front of those, you and I, you do a little bit.
Show in front of cars.
But to do that, I have to say, I always say I was for the Democratic Party, which should probably clear the room right now.
No kidding,
Yeah, it can clear the room right now. If you just, now you know where I am. So live with it, because I still got an hour to do. And I'm getting paid for this, so this is my job. Anyway, but, and I wondered about that, doing that bit.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, being me, I walked into it anyway, because I can't, I'm so old. I'm trying desperately to remember my act. Anyway, and I thought, well, here we go. We're just going to do it. And
let the cards fall where they may.
But we don't do politics.
No, I don't.
It's not that kind of.
I've always felt politics, going up into Canada, playing the red versus the blue, that there's some common ground we all have as humans that we all care about. There's things that we all find funny, and there's
Right.
just try to find the unifying thing between us because we're human. I think that's one thing humor can do is to remind everybody that we're more alike than we are different.
Yeah, that's
You know,
and I'm not. I admire people that can do it.
yeah,
That can do really good political humor.
yeah, it's great.
I'm in awe of their brilliance. Jon Stewart when he was doing stand up, amazing.
Right. Lewis Black.
Lewis
come
Black
on.
is unbelievable because it fits exactly who he is, and he's a teacher. He's an educator,
Yeah,
and
right.
and he educates, and he just extends that. I am a babbler. That's me. I babble, and
And you start just going, I hate him.
I babble. Well, I mean,
That's why I never did any Trump material
I know,
in
me
his whole
neither, 'cause
presidency. It's like, God,
I know everybody in the room just like this. Yeah,
they can tell if you get that angry on stage, they kind of go with you on it.
I know.
They don't just keep it light. They're like, oh, you're right. Oh.
I did
That's not
explain
fun.
to the audience why I wasn't going to do anything that was like that because every time I do something like that, I get in a fight and Art has to bail me out.
Back her up.
You know, it's like, don't piss them off. They're going to hit me.
They'll kill me,
They'll
not
kill
you.
me. Anyway,
Yeah.
so it was a lot of, but God, I'm just waiting for that verdict to come back, not guilty, and this nation is going to blow up again. It's just going to
Yeah,
blow up
probably,
again.
Probably, yeah.
It's going to be terrible. And then the trial for the killing of Aubrey
Mm-hmm.
in Florida,
Yeah, Armand Arbery.
Armand Aubrey,
Yeah.
and that's a judge that's just
Same thing?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's going to be hard. They have one black person on the jury,
right.
one black person
Right.
in Florida. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it wasn't hard to find. You could find another one, you know. Yeah,
Is it Florida or Georgia?
it's Georgia.
Georgia. I'm sorry, Georgia. In Georgia, that's even worse.
Well,
Unbelievable.
yes, shades of black.
So anyway, we've
I didn't mean it like that.
yeah,
It's
it's
shades of gray. It's like darker than. Never mind.
Never mind.
I might cut that part out
That's-
because it
that's-
came off really wrong.
and it's dig a hole.
Yeah.
So anyway, but that was I've been I'll probably listen to a little bit of tonight. Or today after.
I can only take so much, honestly. I can only take so much, and then I'm
Well-
off watching some science fiction thing or some total escapist
I
show.
know.
I need to get away. I need to turn it off. That's why I watch sports. It's just
Seahawks took a dive yesterday.
this season they've taken a dive.
Yeah, not pretty.
Oh, it's not pretty. It's been really sad to watch. As a Seahawks fan, it's like 4 weeks ago. It was like, well, maybe
Aren't they
next
like
year.
6-3 or something like that? 6.
Oh, more like 3 and 6.
Oh yeah, you put the wins first.
Yeah, you put the
Okay.
wins. Yeah, they're not going to make the
That's how
playoffs.
negative I am. I put the losses
There's
first.
just a lot of bad things that are happening for them this year, and the Trailblazers not much better. So yeah, whatever.
Well, the NFL's got to get their shit together.
Oh, I know Aaron Rodgers. It was hard for me to like.
And the guy that got fired, the Grunden, the coach, for posting
Gruden,
all those things, those racist things, and then putting cameras in the locker rooms of the cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Honest to God, what year is this? Is this 1950?
You get done watching
This is
Porky's
ridiculous.
and you get an idea.
Honest, it is. It's like Porky's 9. It's like ridiculous.
I think these athletes, Kyrie Irving and Aaron Rodgers and the lot, Ben Roethlisberger, from Pittsburgh quarterback, was just diagnosed with COVID. I think they need to understand what an impact, I think they kind of do, that they have it on the
They
youth.
have been handed their
They're
whole
fans.
fucking career.
Their whole life they've had a pretty
White
privileged.
muscle bound.
Yeah, they need to understand that their responsibility is to protect the safety of their fans and protect set a good example for the love of God.
The kids look up to them.
They do.
And it's insane. And the kids have got to change. I mean, the kids they've got to learn that, you can enjoy sports, but you've got to look at the character of the person.
Yeah, I am a big sports enthusiast.
I know you are.
I've never been a jock. There's a difference. I've never
Now,
fit
let
into
me
that
just,
group.
I'm just going to say this and you're going to stop. I have known this man for 40 years. It's 40 years.
Yeah.
About 40, 41 years.
Yeah.
He brings it on the basketball court and,
Yeah.
and the tennis court. He is
For
good.
a short guy at
He
my
is
age.
fast.
Let's qualify.
He's a great shooter. And this guy brings it. And he's always, before
I've always
COVID,
got a chip on my shoulder. I always have. That's why I play basketball.
well, that's good because you do it.
Aside from all that,
You've always been a jock
I've
in
always
your
been
heart.
I'm not a jock, and I'm going to distinguish it here. I think of myself as a sports. I love to play lots of sports. Just about anything.
Yeah.
I love to play badminton and volleyball and bowling and
All that.
tennis and basketball and
Baseball, all that
softball.
stuff.
Anything.
Yeah.
I always loved it, but I never wanted to be part of that locker room. Like I did football in the 7th grade, and I never wanted to be in that group. Because there's an attitude there. There's a kind of a dumb shit attitude that goes on between guys in the locker room that they turn into, it becomes this kind of testosterone driven thing where you kind of, your mind goes out the window. I had a couple of guys in my car one time, kind of about 6 foot tall, 6'1", something like that. They're obviously talking jock talk in the back of the seat. They were talking basketball. So I had the audacity to mention, I play a little basketball myself. And they were like, at the end of the tour, well, Mr. He plays basketball himself. Okay. Or, they just got really, they turned into that asshole in the locker room. All of a sudden, okay, well, good luck with your basketball.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and then they get out of the car, and I dropped them off at that strip club out in the Milwaukee.
There you go.
Yeah, and they're walking down, just high-fiving each other. It's like, that's why I never wanted to be part of that whole scene. That's why I don't think of myself as a jock, and I don't want to be. It's just that attitude that just thinks of themselves
He can
because
bring it, though.
they
He
won
can bring
the genetic lottery and they're taller and more muscular and they feel superior. There is definitely that attitude. Yeah, and I
Well,
can't buy it.
that's because people have put them in that position too.
Yeah.
Coaches have said, well, okay, you can get by with a 1.9.
Yeah.
We're gonna let you
Right.
slide on that test.
Right.
We're gonna, and
We're gonna have somebody kind of do that one for you. Don't worry about it.
that's why basketball changed a few years ago in a lot of ways because there was so much pushback
Right.
and drug use and all this other stuff, and they kind of came to the forefront. Clyde Drexler is probably one of the smartest, he's one of the most intelligent, kind human beings.
Right.
Gives back.
He was just a great
gave
representative
back,
for the team. Yeah.
and he created that whole. Who's the guy now? The Portland Blazer that's so wonderful.
Damian Lillard?
Damian Lillard,
Yeah, he's also
who's from
great.
Portland, and he originally.
No, he grew up in California.
Okay,
Yeah.
but he is conscious of his image. He's conscious of how he represents himself.
Right.
He's smart. He's kind. He's good with He always volunteers for stuff.
Yeah, he's loyal.
Michael Jordan
Good
set a
thing.
huge example for this country in sports on how to maintain himself as a.
Yeah, the whole team that with Clyde Drexler, Buck Williams, Terry Porter, all of those guys really went out of their way to reach out to the community and do good things.
And show these young
and a lot of athletes
kids.
do. In all fairness, a lot of jocks do their time and get out there and do good things for the community. And good on them when they do.
The coach, I think this is where Ted Lasso comes in because that's why it's so popular. Even though his attitude is changing, it changes the idea of coaching. That you're not just coaching a season. You're influencing young minds.
Right.
You're influencing these young people, women, men, whoever it is. And that's why it's such a successful thing because it's an uplifting show, and people.
Okay.
Don't you think? Go ahead.
That's the whole thing. It's all about kindness. That's the theme of the show. It's about kindness and nurturing each other as human beings. Here's what I was going to say a second ago.
Okay.
I think the NBA needs a new policy when you re-up your contract. They should have like a 3-part question that you have to answer. A, are you going to try to give back to the community? B, Earth flat or round? Or C, vaccinations, yes or no? If you can answer those three questions, you're in.
Right, exactly.
Because there's a couple of guys out there that can only get one out of those three right, and the give back thing would be just, saying it. So.
And they would probably not get the Earth thing correct.
Kyrie Irving, man.
Really?
Telling you.
Seriously.
That was what before he decided not to be an anti-vaxxer. Yeah, he said, I'm not sure about this whole Earth flat thing.
Oh my God.
Well, okay, I guess you skipped science class, didn't you? Yeah.
Really?
That one.
Does he think he can drive to China?
that whole flat Earth thing just baffles me still.
I still don't understand that.
We should do a whole episode on conspiracies. That's what we'll do.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I want to know how they get started and how they keep going. And, I know we probably have done an episode on conspiracy. We're getting to where I was like,
we don't remember.
We should do an episode about Christmas. How come we haven't done an episode about Christmas?
Which we have, of course. I know. That's so funny. But yeah, it's.
But we could touch on that again. Same as we could touch on ghosts and Bigfoots again.
Well, didn't
Big feet?
Didn't one of the big QAnon perpetrators just die of COVID?
I don't know.
I think so.
Oh.
I'll have to do some research.
Yeah.
Of course, here I am starting rumors, but I'm not really starting rumors. That's not a rumor. That's just I think I heard something. Because I stay away from that QAnon
on the dark web, you think you read something?
Oh yeah, me and the dark web.
So I know a guy who knows a guy in the military. And he says,
I can't even find how to go incognito to look for a car on my. You go incognito on Google, so you look to look for things, so it doesn't keep.
You can't buy a toaster online without getting 100 emails. So, have you considered another toaster?
I know.
No, I got one. I just bought one.
Yeah, and I just learned that little trick a couple years ago. And
how to be anonymous?
Yeah, how to be anonymous when you're searching on Google, so you don't.
Show me that one. I don't know.
Oh yeah, there's little buttons up there, and you hit the button, and it drops down a menu, and it says incognito screen. And then it brings up a black screen, but it's just like a Google screen, but it's black. And then you just type it in and it comes in white. And then you can search, like I was searching for cars for my niece because she's looking for a specific car. I thought, I don't want to get all these car things, But, and you can do porn too, evidently. You can look for porn and it won't come up on your Google
that might be
search.
a whole new venue for me.
On your Google search. But boy, did I just give away. No, I haven't done that. But I heard you can do that.
I'm not a porn guy on the internet either. Every time I hear comedians talking about it, they talk about it like, you've all gone online and looked at porn. How many people have done that? And like half the audience is like, okay. And he's like, the rest of you are liars. It's like, no, I'm not. I don't want to go online and look at porn.
I didn't even know what to look for.
I'm sorry.
At this age, I don't care. Does it come with a recipe? That's what
I'm not that big on strip clubs either, to be quite honest about it. I just...
that never made sense to me. What was it the gal came up and said to me?
I'm not condemning it. If that's your thing, go for it. It's just not my thing. My buddy drugged me to a place in Anchorage called the Alaskan Bush Company, of course.
Oh, no.
And it's like, you gotta go. He didn't even tell me he was taking me. I'm taking you. Yeah, like he's doing me a favor. And, I sat there going, look at that. Okay, that's what it is. But, that's okay. Each to his own. And like I say, I don't want to condemn anybody's preferences or anything. It's just not mine. And I got better things to do. I'd rather play Bejeweled. I have an obligation to my Bejeweled community.
He is.
Listen to her. She's my publicist.
He kicks ass on Bejeweled. I mean, millions.
Think about it. Is that a good thing?
Well,
that's not
that's one of those really. It's like he's really good at Pong.
The pearly game.
I mean, Pong. I mean, it's been around a long. Bejeweled is an old game.
Oh yeah, it's just connecting three things. It's something that clicks in my mind. I can't in little explosions, and it's like.
You're really good at it, though.
Well, again, how much of my life have I wasted?
Well, that's a bathroom game. That's a bathroom game. TikTok and Bejeweled is about that bathroom game.
Mm-hmm. Words with friends.
I used to read.
Yeah.
Now, not so much.
Yeah, I know. I don't read as much as I should either.
Anyway, so we're going to have to cut this short because I think we did about 15 minutes before we stopped again.
No,
are we good?
No, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're sitting pretty. Unless we're gonna run it.
Have you
I
noticed?
got nothing else.
Let's talk about this because I spent the weekend with part of my family. My sweet niece Molly came up to visit me with her husband, who they got married during COVID, and they'd been engaged. They got engaged in 2019 and planned the wedding for 2020. It started out with 150 people, and then with COVID. And it was very sweet because we were talking about the planning of because I married him. You and I are both, we can both marry people. Officiants.
Yes.
And they were here just that summer, during the summertime. They got married in September of 20. And, I felt so bad for them because they kept having to change their wedding and change the number of people. And they were getting married in this beautiful meadow at the base of Mount Baker. Is that the one up north in northern Washington? I think that's
Central Washington.
No,
Northern?
yeah. It's up near the border, this national park with this mountain, beautiful.
Yeah,
mountain.
I'm thinking about Adams. Yeah.
Anyway, Adams is over. No, this is Mount Baker, and they had scoped this place out, and Molly wanted to be married in the meadow and everything. But then all the mandates came down, and she ended up with 25 people at her wedding, which was fine, and we all got cabins, and it was fun. But the day of her wedding, it rained.
Yeah.
And the people at the venue set up the whole thing by the fireplace that was covered.
Yeah.
Thinking, well, she can't get married up in the meadow, and she had her heart set on this meadow.
Oh.
So we waited
What
until
month was it?
It was September.
That's dodgy.
September.
But she was forced to do it September because it kept getting bumped, right?
Well, no, that was the date they chose, and she kept the date, but they had to keep lowering the number of people that they could invite, and it was going to be outside, so she thought it would be okay, and everybody wore masks and stuff. But so it was sprinkling the day of the wedding, and they set it up in this big patio area that was covered by the fireplace. It would have been a beautiful place to get married, and she put chairs up and stuff. Molly said, she started to cry. She goes, I want the meadow. The rain, it was like her mother was listening. Molly lost her mother when she was 10. She said, I want the meadow. And the rain stopped. It stopped. Everybody picked everything up, ran up the meadow, up to the meadow, put it down. We put rugs down for Molly to walk on.
Okay.
And I was officiating, and I had this big long speech that they wanted me to do about, trees and the growth and how a tree grows and all this other stuff, and how it was a beautiful metaphor. And I said, we're cutting the tree. We got to get out of here. We're just, I said, we're going to cut this short, okay? And Molly goes, yeah. Anyway, so it rained on her wedding, and literally we got everybody back under cover, and the sky opened up again. They went on They finally went on their honeymoon in June this year to Mexico. Hurricane. They had a hurricane. And they both got sick.
Oh, God.
Molly got food poisoning just as she's getting on the plane.
Oh, my God.
This kind of thing. These kids have all this bad every time they go somewhere. So they come down here this weekend. Did we have the worst rain? It rained like crazy the whole time.
Yeah, it was hammering down.
And I can't remember what my original thought was, but that's what I was thinking about anyway. But what we were talking about was the holidays. They've started everything shopping. You're getting these Black Friday specials early.
I know, because of the supply chain problems they're having. They're saying, get your shopping done early this year, whatever you do.
God, that was a long way to get to that point. I'm so sorry.
No, that's all right. It was a good story.
But I'm not gonna. We're not gonna do. I'm buying stuff for the little kids, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna buy locally. Buy local. Try to buy local. Everybody try to buy local.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Because small businesses need that badly, and in the long run, the kids really don't. They don't remember what they got last Christmas.
They don't even keep them half the time.
They don't remember, but they it's the magic of it. It's just the magic.
Right.
So it's
It's hard for me to think about Christmas when Thanksgiving hasn't even happened yet. I got to say, it's
well, Thanksgiving is going to be and that's the other thing we're getting bombarded with. Have you been listening to all that? I mean, these children that are being found in these graves, on these indigenous schools that, you know.
I haven't heard that story. No.
It's been all over the news. Canada found in one area, you know, all these kids were taken from their tribes and shipped off to these schools, and some of them didn't make it home. And they're finding bodies. There's over 7,000 bodies they found already. So there's all this stuff about, do we really celebrate Thanksgiving? But Thanksgiving's my favorite of all of them. Because
I just want to say,
yeah.
You got any stories about bunnies?
I know, I know. But I mean, I'm just saying,
Kittens?
I'm saying I love Thanksgiving. I love it more than I love Christmas.
Yeah.
I've always loved it more than
I love it too, because it's low pressure.
Yeah.
It's just about food, which you got me. I'm in. And it's just about a meal, and it's about hanging with your family and friends, and it's togetherness. And some of my best memories are back in college, where we didn't go home, and we just all gathered around and had a Thanksgiving
It's about
meal
friendship and camaraderie and games, and that's the best part of it.
Yeah. You know, and Halloween, it's ups and it's downs for me. But Thanksgiving, it's great. And then Christmas, to me, as soon as the first Christmas decorations go up, as soon as the first Christmas sales go in the stores, my gut sinks a little bit, I got to tell you. And I know it's a time to be lifting everybody up and, you know, cheering everybody up, but it doesn't work that way for me. It always just like, I just hear obligation, ritual, you know, here's what I have to get done. Here's one more responsibility. I got to get the presents. I got to put up the...
I used to feel bad for my mom because I thought, you know, that was the thing, you know. And
we're going to put up our fake tree again this year. We've had a fake tree for 20 years now, and I got to tell you, it gets a little more complicated piecing those branches back together. Because some the wire are kind of breaking, and they're you kind of have to put it in there. It's more like Jenga. It's like a big Jenga game with branches at this point. And so we try to stack this tree, and then just don't touch anything, and then hang all the ornaments.
I did too. I went silver all last year. I have always wanted silver trees, and I bought silver trees, and I know that's just tacky, but I so love it because it just was like, this is what Christmas is. And so I actually
There's
enjoy.
There's something to be said for a tree that already has lights on it.
Perfect.
Oh yeah.
I mean, as I get older, and I actually I have like 3 of them. I got one for the house, I got one for my porch, and I got one for my
Right.
I mean, I don't.
Otherwise, you string the lights around in a circle. You got to walk around the tree, and it's just like this weird, complex geometry exercise.
And it falls out. You got to find that hole.
Okay, where does that one run out? Where should I start? And it just never looks right. But then at the end, you stand and you take your glasses off, and you go, "Oh, yeah, that's beautiful."
Or you take another shot and go, yeah, that's fine.
We had glasses that actually glossed over your eye, and then you'd have this thing that said like happy, like in multiple images. Happy holidays and
Is it right?
Season's readings, yeah. Or they had candles, and you just look at it and you're like, whoa, I'm tripping.
That's fun.
Yeah, I want to find those glasses again.
I just
and we used to, we'll talk about Christmas later. We got plenty of time to talk about.
But Thanksgiving, you're thinking about doing it this year.
We're thinking about having Catherine's brother and his ex-wife, who are they're still friends, and his son over for Thanksgiving. Then we'll see.
And Liam's coming home.
Yeah.
Oh,
we got to take it. He'll be back home again. So he misses home. I can tell.
Yeah.
He's a little homesick. So
that's
he's going to stay down there till then Thanksgiving Day. He's flying in. Because
that's a good day to fly.
It's a good day to fly. Fewer passengers.
That's a good day to fly.
Better rates and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, he's going to be back for about a week before he goes back down. So that'll be good. It should be a warm, wonderful time. Maybe make a fire in the fireplace. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
My best Thanksgiving ever. No, that's not true. I've had a lot of good Thanksgivings, but
I have too.
I always think of the time when in my dad's church, one of the members of the church owned the Santiam Lodge, a ski lodge.
Oh, how nice.
So we went up there. And it started to snow.
Beautiful.
And it's this big, beautiful A-frame lodge from like the 50s or something, 60s.
It is beautiful,
gorgeous lodge, and big, long table and a big ballroom. And oh, God, that's Thanksgiving to me.
We had Subtle Lake, Barry and Connie and I, when Barry, my brother was Barry, and he lived over, and he took a job over in Redmond and Bend when he was like 60 years old.
Right.
And kept the house here, of course, but he was over there. And so I flew over for Thanksgiving,
Nice.
and we went to Subtle Lake Lodge,
Beautiful.
and that's
Oh, yeah.
and it's a smaller lodge with beautiful rooms and stuff, and that was just and it snowed.
There's something magical, man.
Just snow. It was gorgeous. It was
Just something
gorgeous.
magical
It
about
really
that.
was. And our Mount Hood looks beautiful again. It's got
Yeah.
snow on it. It's just gorgeous. So
We'll have another episode before Thanksgiving next week. Maybe we can,
Dawn is coming.
Yeah, Dawn Green will be here with us.
Yeah.
And maybe we can mention our favorite Thanksgivings,
We'll talk. because she's been in LA for
things we like
years
about
and years.
Thanksgiving.
And
something like
anyway,
that. We'll come up with something.
we'd love to hear your stories, but nobody ever gives us any feedback. So we're gonna make stuff up, and we're just gonna tell. Oh, and Joey, he wrote us, and he told us that. Anyway.
Yeah, we'll make up something.
Anyway, thanks a lot for dropping by.
Yep. I hope you all got something interesting or funny or uplifting or consoling.
Wear your mask, get your vaccine. We love you.
That's right, we do. Thank you for listening. It makes it all worth doing.
Subscribe to Stop Me If I've Heard This. I'm Susan. This is Art.
Thank you. Bye. Just the stop button that doesn't